Welcome to Learn the Foundations. Our first video of this series is about breathing. Breathing, as the yogis knew, is the one system in our body that when we play with it, we can regulate our other systems. We can tell our breath to slow down and in turn lower our heart rate, lower our blood pressure, lower some of those stress responses that are happening in the body. We can control those or regulate those through our breath. Breath is one of the most important pieces of not only mind-body movement like yoga or Pilates, meditation, but it's also really important that we learn how to use our breath and our deep core muscles when we're doing heavier strength training or anything that's moving quickly, agility, power, because it will help protect our lower spine and pelvis. As we get into the strength portion, we're going to cover a different breath. I just say that because I want you to know that there are two different breaths. The one that we use when we're lifting something heavy is more supportive than when we're doing Pilates when it's lighter weight or just body weight. So let's go ahead and start with just coming down onto our back. As you come down onto your back, this is an exciting lesson. Honestly, it took me like 10 years to try and find the right teachers to find the right answers. As you come onto your back, you're welcome to use a pillow under your head if it feels more supportive. Just let your neck and shoulders feel relaxed. And then bend your knees, plant your feet on the mat, or the floor in this case. And just for this first bit, take 2 deep breaths into your body. Maybe you soften the gaze or close the eyes. And just start to notice where your breath is landing. Maybe you place a hand on the area of the body where your breath is landing, like the upper chest, the rib cage, the belly. And just notice where it's landing. For many women, when the body is in a stress breath pattern, the breath will come into the upper chest. So for today, we're going to practice bringing it down into the lower body. Lower lungs, lower rib cage, lower belly. To do this, let's start, because when it's in the chest, it can create shoulder tension, neck tension. So let's start with what's called 3-dimensional breath. You're going to take your hands and rest them on your rib cage. Your fingertips can kind of rest at the top. Your wrists will relax towards the floor. If your shoulders feel tight, you can just wrap your hands around like you're giving yourself a hug, and your fingers wrap around the side and back of your ribs. If it feels okay in your shoulders, rest your hands there. And then start to deepen your breath into your hands. So nice and slowly, let's take a deep breath in through the nose, letting the breath fill the front, the back, and the side of your rib cage. Like an accordion or an umbrella, let the rib cage lift up and out. And then as you exhale, relax your ribs down and in. Try 2 more like that. As you inhale, imagine a balloon or that umbrella opening under your rib cage, allowing the rib cage to lift up and out as you inhale. And then exhale nice and slowly. Again, take a deep breath in. Allowing it should already feel really nice. Inhale warm and wide into the ribs. And then I want you to exhale like you're exhaling through a straw. So purse your lips and almost press the breath out. One more like that. Deep breath in through your nose, letting your rib cage fill up with breath. And then press the breath out through a straw. Wonderful. So as you do that, you might start to feel your upper abdominals. That's what we want. Let's take that breath and now work with it. You'll let your fingers interlace. Let the hands come behind your head. Your thumbs can kind of drop down the side of your neck. And then we'll take an inhale, just a little lowering of your chin. Exhale, gently lift your head and shoulders up off the mat. Pause. So here, I want you to stay lifted, but take a deep breath into your rib cage. And then as you exhale, knit your ribs together like they're drawing down towards the top of the pelvis. Exhale, stay. 2 more like that. Inhale, rib cage lifts. Exhale through a straw. Ribs knit together. Woo, feeling the abdominals. 1 more deep breath in. Exhale through that pursed lip. Press the breath out. Ribs knit together. Inhale, lower down. So you can kind of feel when we use that exhale, when we connect to our ribs, we connect to our upper abdominals. So really nice job there. That'll be the primary breath for Pilates. If we're doing a yoga class, you might take the exhale through the nose, where it's inhale, exhale through the nose. But for our Pilates practice, you'll inhale through the nose and then exhale through that pursed lip to give some more support and more activation to the abdominals. Take a hold of a knee. Go ahead, find a seat. So that's our upper rib cage breathing. You can always come onto a pillow for this portion. We're going to take it into our lower diaphragm, our pelvic breathing. So imagine you have your sitting bones and your pubic bone kind of grounded or rooted down into the earth. Feel your tall spine, or feel your spine kind of lengthen. Good. And then maybe just play with it. Sometimes I think we bind up when we're trying to get it perfect. What I want you to do is just, can you feel your sitting bones? Find your little butt bones. And then can you orient your pubic bone? And with that, from there, imagine those 3 points just rooted down to Mother Earth, or rooted down to the core of the earth. Good. Let's take a couple deep breaths here. I'm going to face. And so as you inhale, think like you're inhaling down into the pubic bone and sitting bones. And then this time, as you exhale through that straw, think like you're pulling up a zipper, or you're holding in a tampon or a wee. You're going to exhale. Gentle lift of our pelvic floor. Let's take 3 more like that. Inhale down into your pelvis. Take your time, see if you can feel it. And then exhaling through a straw. Pubic bone to belly button, we kind of zipper up. Right, let's take 2 more deep breaths in. Soften the pelvic floor, soften down into the pubic bone. And then as you exhale, zip up. Last one, this will help. Continue here. Support the pelvis, support the hip bones, support the deep core and the lower back. Exhale, press the breath out, little zipper. Good. So hopefully you're starting to feel that. If you don't worry about it. Think about it like a capital T. We had our rib cage breathing, and then we have our capital T zone breath. So the vertical line of that T, of that capital T, is that zipper. If you have a pair of jeans on, it's this little lift, and you can try it with me. I want you to feel it. This little lift from pubic bone to belly button, kind of zipping up the inside deep in the pelvis. When we have that, It helps support all the muscles in the pelvis, and then help lift us up and out of our lower back, up and out of our hips, so we don't feel so compressed. So keep practicing that. That is a pillar of pelvic health. It's a pillar of Pilates. It's a pillar of actually a healthy breath pattern, and will help bring heart rate, blood pressure into regulated state when we have what are called the cervical, thoracic, and pelvic diaphragms working together. You don't need to nerd out on it, but just know feeling that will really help. So we did our rib cage, maybe a refresher. Inhale into your ribs. Exhale out through that straw. See if you can feel your upper abdominals connected. Go ahead now, take that breath down. Inhale to the pubic bone. The pelvic floor softens. Even if you don't know what that is, just visualize pelvic bone soften. And then exhale, pelvic floor softens. Exhale, zip up. Good. The final one is this horizontal line across the front of the pelvis, that capital T. The way to find it is to either take your hands onto your waist, or you can find these bones in the front of your pelvis, like palpate the bones. I actually prefer to do this lying down, so we'll do that in a moment. But what I want you to visualize here as we're seated up is like a belt or a corset. I want you to feel these two hip bones start to draw towards your midline or draw towards one another as you exhale. So we're going to take it onto the back, but let's do one here seated. You'll inhale down to your pubic bone. Try it with me. And then as you exhale, think zipper up, like you're zipping up here. You can even do the hand, zip up like a pair of jeans, and then belt your belt one extra notch. Let's try a bonus one seated. Inhale here. Warm and wide, and then exhale through that straw, zip up and belt in. All right, let's take it one more time onto our back. So there's a lot going on here. I get that. I know that. I want you to keep coming back to this video because there's a reason this is your first video in the series. It will set yourself up for a healthy lower core, a healthy lower back, or the foundations for those, for any of your movement practices. So let's do one more here, lying on the back, same breath that we just did, but let your peace sign fingers rest together on the inside of those bones. So you're not going to touch the bone really, but you'll feel just on the inside. And then I want you to inhale down into your pubic bone. Perfect. And then as you exhale, zip up, hug in or belt one notch. And you might feel a little muscle pop up under your fingers. Let's try it again. Inhale down into your pubic bone. Exhale through that pursed lip, zip up and hug in. Wonderful. One more like that. Inhale down into your pubic bone. Good. Exhale, zipper up and belt it in. Perfect. Let's do one more exercise while we're here, just so you can feel how that deep core breath supports your abdominal muscles. Let your hands come by your side. Let your tailbone just lift slightly, and then take a deep breath in. Exhale, zip up, hug in. Use your abdominals, engaging your core, float your right leg up to tabletop. Inhale, stay. Exhale, same thing, through that straw, zip up, hug in. Float your left leg to tabletop. Pause here, little tiny lift of your tailbone. Take a deep breath in. Stay for this moment. Exhale through that straw, zip up, pelvic floor. Transverse is that capital T, hug it across. Core is super engaged. Float your right leg down. Inhale, stay. Exhale, zip up, hug in. Yes, core engages, slowly lower that left leg down. One more. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, zip up, hug in. This time float your left leg up first. Inhale, stay. Exhale, zip up, hug in. Core is engaged. Yes, keep your pelvis really still. Float your right leg up. Inhale here. Exhale, zip up, hug in. Float your left leg down from your core. Inhale here. Exhale, zip up, hug in. Use that core contraction to float the right leg down. Yes, really nice. Hopefully you're starting to feel some of that. Let's take it. Inhale here. Exhale, engage, zip up, hug in, float right, then left, all the way up to tabletop. And then let your hands come behind the head. We're going to combine both. So inhale here. Exhale, zip up, hug in. So zipper and belt. And then slowly lift the head and shoulders. Pause it here. So we should continue breathing. Inhale. Exhale, zip up, hug in. Inhale. Upper abdominals are working. Lower abdominals are working. Let's inhale, stay. Exhale, tap your right toes down. Inhale, lift them back up. Exhale, zip up, hug in, tap your left toes. Good. Inhale, lift them back up. Keep your legs there. Inhale, lower your head. Exhale, lift head and shoulders. Pause here. Inhale, stay. Exhale, zip up, hug in, float your right leg down. Yes, wonderful. Inhale, table. Everything is working. Inhale here. Exhale, zip up, hug, belt in together, float that left leg down. Inhale, lift. Last one. Inhale, lower the head and shoulders. Exhale, lift the head and shoulders, ribs knit together, and let's just hold. 5, 4, 3. Hi, amazing woman. Thank you so much for joining class today. My name is Mary Sarah, founder of Mary Sarah Coaching and the Soma School by MSC. If you like today's class, the full-length video is housed on our world-class app, the Soma School by MSC. We have teachers, healers, experts from around the world sharing their passion for women's health and physiology. We've got classes, courses, workshops, all good things to support your training, fueling, and optimizing who you are so you can train with your body and not against it. Thank you again, and I will see you for the next workout.